In the small town of Kalema stood a tiny church, Grace of Salvation Ministries. Its pastor, Pastor Daniel, was known for his zeal. He wasn't famous, he didn't drive a car. His shoes were worn out, his Bible torn at the edges, but his faith was strong like a rock. Every morning before the sun rose, he knelt at the altar praying, "Lord, use me for your glory." He preached in the market square, in the prisons, even under the rain. Yet years passed and nothing changed. His congregation grew smaller, his pocket emptier. His wife, Sister Mary, grew weary. Their children often went to bed hungry. Then one Sunday, a new church opened just down the road, Fire of Glory International Ministries. The pastor, Prophet Emmanuel, was everything Daniel wasn't. He drove a white SUV, wore fine suits, and his church overflowed with people. Miracles were happening, the blind seeing, the lame walking, and testimonies flooding the air. At first, Daniel was happy to see revival near his town, but slowly, one by one, his members started leaving. They said, "Pastor, we love you, but God is moving there." Within months, only 5 people remained: his wife, his 2 children, and an elderly couple. He smiled through his pain, but deep inside he was breaking. At night he cried alone at the altar, asking, "Lord, have you forgotten me?" One evening, unable to hold it in anymore, Pastor Daniel went to see Prophet Emmanuel. The new church glowed with lights and music filled the air. Daniel waited for hours before being ushered into the prophet's lavish office. "Man of God," Daniel said humbly, "please, I need your help. My ministry is dying. I've prayed, fasted, and served. What am I missing?" Prophet Emmanuel smiled faintly. "You're missing what brings power, my brother. There are dimensions you can never reach with prayer alone." Daniel frowned. "What do you mean?" The prophet leaned closer, lowering his voice. "There are forces that help those who know how to connect. If you're ready, I can show you, but it comes with a price." Daniel hesitated. "A price?" "Yes," the prophet said coldly, "nothing powerful comes free. Are you ready to do what it takes?" That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. His wife noticed his restlessness. "What's wrong?" she asked. He shook his head. "Nothing. Just tired." But in his heart, the battle had begun. Weeks passed and things grew worse. His children were sent home from school. The landlord issued a final warning. Then one night, Daniel returned to Prophet Emmanuel. "I'm ready," he said quietly. The prophet smiled darkly. "Good. But understand, once you begin, you cannot turn back. The spirit that helps us demands something dear." Daniel swallowed hard. "What is it?" "The life of your first child." Daniel froze. His heart pounded. No, I can't do that." "You want to remain poor? You want your ministry to die?" Emmanuel's eyes glowed eerily. "Think about it. A small price for a lifetime of glory." For days, Daniel wrestled within himself. His wife saw him growing pale and distant. Then one stormy night, he made his choice. He performed the ritual as instructed, his hands trembling as tears streamed down his face. The next morning, his son fell mysteriously ill, and by evening he was gone. Daniel and his wife wept bitterly, but soon strange things began to happen. Crowds returned to his church, miracles happened effortlessly, money flowed. The world began to know Pastor Daniel, the man of power. Years passed. Daniel became famous. His sermons were broadcast on TV. His wife smiled again, though sometimes her eyes held a quiet sadness. They had forgotten the past, or so they thought. Then one night, as Daniel prayed, a shadow appeared, the same dark spirit that had helped him rise. Its voice was cold. "Your time of renewal has come. The altar needs another blood." Daniel shivered. "What do you want this time?" "Your wife." He fell to his knees, trembling. "No, please, anything but her." The voice echoed, "Refuse, and your life shall be taken instead." Daniel couldn't tell anyone. He couldn't sleep. Every time he looked at his wife, guilt burned in his soul. Finally, he went to Prophet Emmanuel again. "There must be another way," he cried. Emmanuel only smiled. "There's no going back, brother. You either give what is asked, or you lose everything, including your life." For days, Daniel wandered like a madman. Then one night, driven by fear, he obeyed the voice. He led his wife into the forest under the pretense of prayer. There, under the moonlight, he did the unthinkable. As her body fell to the ground, a scream echoed through the night. Not from her lips, but from his soul. Peace never came. At first, everything in the church doubled: miracles, money, fame. But then things started changing. He began seeing his wife's face in the crowd. At night, he heard her voice whisper, "Daniel, Daniel." He stopped sleeping. His sermons turned to shouts. His eyes grew hollow. During one Sunday service, in the middle of preaching, he froze. His hands shook. He looked up and screamed, "Leave me alone." The congregation panicked. Some ran out. He fell to his knees and began confessing everything. How he met the false prophet, how he sacrificed his son, how he killed his wife. He wept uncontrollably as his church members stood in shock. The news spread like wildfire. Pastor Daniel was arrested, and the once celebrated man of God became the headline of shame. In prison, he found himself back where he began, alone, but this time truly broken. One night, as he read his old torn Bible, tears filled his eyes. He whispered, "Lord, I went searching for power, forgetting you are the source. Forgive me," and for the first time in years, he felt peace. The cell was dark, but his heart was light. The story of Pastor Daniel became a warning across the land, a reminder that not all power comes from God, and the cost of false anointing is always too high. Many have lost themselves in the pursuit of fame and miracles, but true power comes not from altars of blood, but from a heart of obedience. The devil may offer shortcuts, but every shortcut leads to destruction.